welcome back to day 12 of 31 monsters in 31 days. Let's find out who we're making today. A toad. We're gonna make a toad today. All right, let's get started. All right, so you might be thinking, Jane, you're supposed to be making 31 monsters and a toad is definitely not a monster. But hear me out. I have this book of Halloween symbols and a toad has 3 whole pages in here. Let me explain while we make the basic blob shape that all the monsters in this series are based off of.
If you want to see slower, step-by-step instructions on how to make this basic blob form, check out this video. For details on how I do my paper mache, check out this video. Toads have had a bad reputation since medieval Europe, where people observed that their skin might be irritated after handling toads. Indeed, some toads do produce skin secretions that are a mild irritant, but the folks in medieval Europe interpreted this as evidence of poison or witchcraft. This idea may have been cemented by Mother Dutton, one of 4 women hanged for witchcraft in Windsor, England in 1579. Dutton admitted to keeping a spirit in a toad that lived in her garden who she fed with her own blood. The natterjack toad is the only species of toad native to Ireland, source of much of the folk magic that spread across the British Isles. One such magical ritual would use a toad to create a talisman to give its wielder power to control horses and other livestock. The so-called toad bone ritual would take a natterjack toad, place it in a copper pot, and then bury it in an anthill until the ants strip the flesh off the toad. The toad's skeleton would then be tossed into a stream, and whichever bone floats upstream would be identified as the magical bone. The witches in Shakespeare's Macbeth famously tossed toads in their cauldron as an ingredient in their evil spell to draw Macbeth further into evil. Toad superstitions persist to this day. When I was young, kids thought that touching a toad would give you warts, or if you had warts, getting a toad to pee on them would make them go away. So I had to include toads on my monster list for both their historical ties to witchcraft and to their current link to warty superstitions. Here's the dry blob. It's got 4 layers of paper mache on it. I'm going to use some additional wads of paper to make those eye bumps on top of his head. I'm sticking those down with masking tape and then paper mashing over these 2. I should have done this at the beginning before I did any paper mache at all, but I didn't think of it. My next step is to make the toad's eyeballs. I'll need those to dry before I can add them to his face. I'm sculpting these bits with DOS air dry clay. This clay has a lot of fiber and I really recommend it for a project like this. I'll leave a link for this clay and my other supplies in the video description. I'm using the dimples in this little paint palette as a mold for the eyeballs. I'm just shoving a ball of clay in there. In a few hours when the clay is set up a bit, I'll pop them out of the mold so that they can dry all the way through. Here are the dry eyeballs. I'm going to paint those black. And then looking at some reference images of toad eyes, I'm using some gold paint to put the details on. When the paint is dry, I give them a coat of UV resin. This both gives the eyes a glossy top coat and protects the paint job from the additional paper mache I'm about to do next. Since this is a bit more of a simple build today, I thought I'd show you a little trick to turn this toad into a vase. People are always asking me how to make paper mache waterproof, but rather than try to do that, I just like to hide a watertight container inside. So I have this plastic tube and I found this cardboard tube that the plastic will fit into just like this. I'm going to cut a hole in the back of my toad and then remove the newspaper inside so that the tube can slide in. I'll stick a quick bit of cardboard onto the bottom of the tube to give it a nice base. Then I'll slide the tube into the toad and hot glue it in place. I'll paper mache around that joint, and now I can put this plastic tube in here. I can fill this with water so I can use this toad as a vase, and I can still take the tube out and clean it or whatever. I used this black fabric to make the toad's lip. I soaked it in glue with a brush, then made a twist of paper towel, set it on the fabric, then folded it inside like a little taco. I put that onto my toad's face, then I put some brown paper around the edges. And then I just decided to cover the whole bit of fabric in brown paper. I don't know, I guess I just thought it would look better. I'm going ahead and using the same black fabric to make the eyelids. I'll make the bottom one first and put the top ones on top. And of course, I'm covering all the edges in paper mache. I'm also going to use a wad of paper to give him a little chin, and that gets covered in paper too. I'm going to use these pressed paper egg cartons to make the bumpy texture on my toad's back. I've ripped those into chunks and I'm just pushing them underwater to let them soak overnight. After they've soaked, I'm dumping them into this bucket with a few extra bowls of water and using an immersion blender to turn them into pulp. I'm pouring this soupy mess through a colander lined with some cheesecloth left over from my mummy project and squeezing out most of the water. I'm adding some of my paper mache paste to the pulp, mixing it all up and slapping it onto my toad's back. This kind of naturally makes this bumpy texture that I think is perfect for a toad. However, this actually took forever to dry. I don't recommend doing this if you're on a time crunch.
So this is a bit of a simpler build today, which is really nice for me. It's Thanksgiving weekend here, so having a simpler project has given me a bit more time to spend with my family. But I did want to just pop in and say thank you to everyone who's been watching the series. There's a few of you who always take the time to like and comment, and I really appreciate it. It has been a lot of work, but I am having fun. But your nice comments are really keeping me motivated, so I just wanted to say thank you very much.
Okay, so this is finally dry, so we're gonna give him an all-over black base coat with some DIY primer. The recipe for that is in this video. Then I'm using a dry brush paint technique to build up various shades of brown to give him a nice toady skin color. I cleaned off his eyes with some rubbing alcohol, and as a final finishing touch, I'm gluing a bit of black felt onto the bottom. And here's our finished toad. What do you think? Would you ever use this method to make a vase? Let me know in the comments. Please hit the like button if you think I did a good job. Since I'm a smaller channel, anytime you like or comment, it really helps me out because it tells YouTube this video is worth watching. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Subscribe to my Patreon if you want to see it ad-free. And again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.